Okay, so today is day 62 being housed. It's Thursday, October the 16th, 2025. And so this could be a BVP, something that just occurred at the gym about a half an hour ago. And it's very fortuitous that I noted it. It used to invoke a lot of shame and it used to really hurt, but I find with understanding comes a lot of compassion and a lot of mercy. And so anyways, without further ado, let's talk about this. So and I'll preface this, or I'll frame it by saying I haven't talked about this up until this point because I want to be respectful to the place where I'm staying, and I want to respect the folks that are living there. So I don't want to say anything. I like to be very tight-lipped about things around me because I'm in somebody else's personal space, and that's their personal space, and I can respect that. And but I have to share this detail in order for this to make sense. But there's a very poignant or pungent smell, an odor that before I moved into this, I can still smell it, but it's not as strong. But and also it lingers in the clothing. It's mixed with a lot of smoke, and so it's a very repulsive smell, to say the least. And I mean that with all due respect. It's just the smell that's in there. So I'm aware that can be on me and my clothing. I'm also aware that no amount of cologne will get rid of it or neutralize it. It could only, mask certain parts of it, and then also, create a different odor that is also repelling. But anyhow, another thing too is I want to be very respectful to the owner and to his house, and I want to minimize the use of utilities that I'm using. So I have my own laundry detergent and this and that, but I don't want to use to do multiple loads of laundry each week. So I think one load of laundry I'm more than happy with that. And in all honesty, I think it's much nicer than having to go to a laundromat, because then I can actually do some writing or reading while I sit and wait for the laundry cycle to complete. But so I do one a week, and I have kind of like a workout bag, but like a zip bag, and that's where I put my clothes in after I wash them, and I zip them and I put them on the bag on the floor to protect the clothes inside from the odor that's in the house. This is I've been aware of this because I don't want to go to work and have a smell. Once you're labeled as the person that has an odor, it might just be the one time. That is a hard label, or it can formulate into a reputation. It's a hard reputation to get rid of. There's people that get made fun of in high school. Maybe a poorly in a very insensitive remark was made in grade 9, and then people can still continue using that insult 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years after high school concludes. So I'm very, first and foremost, I no longer use any remarks. I was quite immature in high school, and the Holy Spirit's convicted me to respect people. So to not bring up the things from the past, but to try and get to know the person in the present, and to respect them, and to allow people to grow. And the Holy Spirit's also revealed to me that when you start labeling people, it actually hinders their growth. And if it doesn't hinder their growth, internally with them, it hinders your sight or your ability to see any growth that has occurred within them, because you're always pulling them back to information that is, outdated. So now we're at the gym. So it's a really nice young man. He's more my little sister's group of friends. I'm friends with his older brother. I really admire this young man. He's a very he's a go-getter. He's a very devoted guy, and I find him to be a very respectful young man. Anyways, I always enjoy talking with him. And so he was at the gym, and then there's a nice young lady. She is one of my closest friends. She's the aunt of one of my closest friends. And so I just know her from going to his family events, and I know her kind of indirectly through him. So I just say hi and bye to her. It's always a very cordial and polite interaction. That being said, I was downstairs. I was doing chest today, and I was downstairs, and I was using one of the Atlantis machines that is by the front door, and she was coming in, so I smiled and waved at her, and she smiled and waved at me, and then instantly she looked like down at my ensemble. So I'm wearing cargo shorts I've been wearing all summer, and a sweatshirt I wear quite a bit, and there was a look of disgust on her face. She couldn't hide it, and she kind of looked up at me, and it was kind of like a look of shock, like she was like kind of like processing something in the moment. And instantly I felt like, oh goodness, I get what's going on here. First and foremost, I'm not really in my gym attire. There's a reason for that. Secondly, she's probably seen me wearing this a lot. People are much more observant to the details than we could ever imagine, and when they notice trends, they pick up trends. So she won't be privy. Chances are she's not privy to my current situation. I don't think anybody really is privy to the fact that I was unhoused or homeless for that little stretch of time, outside of my case manager, and I shared with one friend. And so anyways, and he's a very tight-lipped individual, and he's has nothing to do with the gossip mill. And so anyways, so it's reasonable for me to believe that nobody knows. But these judgments are going to come, and I'm not judging her, because, oh goodness, before Jesus and before the Holy Spirit corrected me about judge not, lest you be judged yourself. With whatever measure you judge others, it will be measured upon you. Before the Holy Spirit, before this was revealed to me, then the Holy Spirit transformed my heart to come into agreement with Jesus' command. So it's all by the power of the Holy Spirit. I did likewise. So I'm never going to put that standard on others, but I can definitely talk about how it hurts. And I think it's wonderful to talk about how it hurts. But also, I can also give grace to people too. And I'm gonna unfold that in a moment. So, or unravel that in a moment. So instantly there was like this awkwardness between us. She could not hide, the revelation of the thoughts that were going on in her mind, as her eyes traveled, from my eyes down my body to my shoes. I think it's unkempt. I don't know if that's the proper word, but I look like I'm living off not just leftovers, but a third generation of leftovers. And so anyways, good morning. So that happened. I felt very awkward, and then I thought about it, and I was thinking, well, this is one of the casualties of I'm blessed to have a safe place to lay my head. And in the past, oh goodness, when I had my own place, I was able to, I did laundry all the time. Part of, let me actually continue. So I went upstairs, I was doing cable crossovers, and that young gentleman I was talking about earlier, he had like some sort of like elastic or rubber contraption on the Smith machine, and it's not my way. I can work around things. And he was like, oh no, sorry. He's like, let me get that out of your way. And he came over, and instantly I felt insecure, because I was thinking, oh no, you're within that threshold of inhale. You could inhale if there's any of like the residual effect of the scent or the odor in the house. And if it's lingering with me, then you're going to smell it. And so I became hypersensitive to that, and a little insecure. And I was thinking, okay, well, these, I don't want to be smelly. I don't want to have that reputation. I have the responsibility to give the best I can to the people around me, to be considerate of them, to be considerate of their olfactory sense. And, but right now, unbeknownst to them, I'm in a position where I don't have the luxuries I used to have. So now I'll talk about when I used to have my own place. I was always, first and foremost, the smell of my house. I was always working on it, always making sure it was really, really satisfying. It had a good scent, and I was very aware. I even had people do a scent test, because I wanted to ensure that my house always smelled good. And I'm going to start a new video here, so this one stays under 10 minutes.